So in this video, I want to talk about what's happening with the air attacks on missile defense systems in Crimea specifically, and why oil depots are burning, and things along those lines. And I want to also look forward to what will happen later on this year with the election. We're all kind of nervous about what will happen with the 2024 election, especially in the United States. And Jake Bro made somewhat of a prediction, and he's not saying like, I say it's going to be this, but I think his basic thesis is right that, well, I want you to hear him and then we'll talk about it. Okay, let's listen to what he has to say here.
Ukrainian forces hit 15 Russian air defense systems in Crimea just over the past 2 months. I've lost count of how many times Ukraine has destroyed a Russian air defense system on the west coast of Crimea. It's clear Ukraine is trying to go after these radar installations and air defense systems to clear the skies for F-16s. But Crimea is the key, and I think Ukraine knows this. If I'm being honest, there's going to be another debate here in the United States after the November election. I think Congress has to vote on another $50 or $60 billion aid package for Ukraine in either December or January. And the Ukrainians know, or they think, they need to make some kind of visible progress by December or January to make the arguments here in the United States to get more military aid.
Now, I don't know that it'll be December or January, or maybe it could be November. We don't know about the timetables, but there will be some kind of clear argument between Republicans and Democrats in Congress about further support for Ukraine. But he's absolutely spot on about they have to show progress. They have to show that they're doing something, whether it's destroying these air defense so that they can do more in taking Crimea, or destroying the Kerch and cutting off Crimea, or whatever it is. Something has to happen. And let me just a little bit more, and then we'll talk about that.
So I think Kherson in Crimea is the key. We don't know the details. I have no specifics, but I do think that Ukraine believes Kherson and Crimea is the weak point for the Russian military, and if they can get across the river in mass, they can easily take some territory. If they can make a breakthrough in Kherson, if they can destroy that bridge, Crimea will be isolated. And then it's the siege of Crimea for 2025. That's going to be the arguments that Zelensky will make to the United States in Congress to continue military aid for another year.
Now, I don't know that that's necessarily the case. I don't, everything that I understand about it tells me that there's not a lot of troops around Kherson, but I don't know what I don't know as well, so I'm not arguing with that. But his basic point is that something big has to happen. You have to show some success in order to get to the next bracket of more support. And I think that's right. I saw this video on Twitter and I thought, yep, that's right. Look at that. That's beautiful. But the comment above it by Jason J. Smart was by General George Patton. Americans love a winner. Americans will not tolerate a loser. Americans despise cowards. Americans play to win all the time. Yeah. But see, here's the thing. It's not just loving a winner. Actually, we love an underdog that wins. Like that's how American mindsets tend to work. But you have nothing succeeds like success, and to the degree that Ukraine can actually show tangible growth or tangible momentum or tangible like taking ground back or showing some devastating defeat for Russia in some way, it'll be that much easier to get this next aid package that has to come. And to the degree that they can't, if they have another summer like this past summer with a terrible counteroffensive that just didn't go anywhere, it'll be really, really, really hard. Okay, so Jake Bro's right. The details are murky for all of us. None of us can predict the future, but he's right that you have to have some kind of big win before you get to the next debate, which you will have, in order to support Ukraine moving forward. Okay, thank you for your time. Tell me what you thought about that in the comments below. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.